All right, we are on day 2 of our mobile making. I don't know if you guys can see mine kind of hanging right here, just hanging out. I've already got one of the hot air balloons ready to go, and I'm going to show you guys how to create this today. So I've got my wooden hoop is hanging there. I'm going to try not to touch it because I don't want all these strings to get knotted together, right? So we don't want that to happen. So our goal by before next club is going to be to try to get one hot air balloon on each of the strings. When I place them on here, I don't want them to all be at the same level. So like this one is maybe about 3.5 inches down. Maybe the next one I do 5 inches down. And maybe I have one that's only 1 inch down. So they're all on different levels. Looks really cute. Another thing that you're gonna notice is when you put one on there, so here's how my mobile should look, but as soon as I put one on one side, whoop, it's going to throw off the balance, right? So the next one I'm gonna put on there, which I'll be doing during this video today, I'm gonna put on the opposite side to try to balance it out a little bit so that it's not flapping all over. So that's part of the reason too that we want to make sure we're getting one hot air balloon on each of them. Next club time, we are going to be adding and other kinds of sky stuff, so clouds and birds, things like that, and that'll help us sort of fine tune the balance of our mobile. So that's coming your way. But for today, we're going to be talking about how do we, so we made these hot air balloons, right? We cut them out. We should have at least 5 of them because we've got our one template plus the 4 of them that we want to have to actually put onto our mobile. So that's where we're at. If you're not quite there yet, just do that first. Make sure you've got 5 of these, your template, plus 4 more. And you can see I've already gone ahead and folded them in half. So we want them folded in half just like this, as best you can down the center. So now to start attaching them, so we've got this cool 3D hot air balloon. You can either use a liquid glue or a glue stick. I'm going to use a glue stick. They do tend to dry a little bit faster and they don't run. I will actually be using this one for one tiny part, but I'll show you guys that later. So for right now, I'm just going to put glue on 1/2 of my hot air balloon, like that. And I'm going to choose to take the opposite color, so I'm going to choose to take the lavender here. And as best as I can, I'm going to line these up. You especially want to make sure that the center, the folded part, is lined up. That's going to be really important. So we're going to line it up just like that and pinch them together. Now, if you find that maybe it's just a little bit off, can you guys see how my blue's sticking out a little bit? So if it doesn't bother you, cool, don't worry about it. But if it does bother you, you can always go ahead, just like we've done before, and trim it a little bit to even it out, so that you don't see any of those excess colors sticking through from one side to the next. I see a little blue down there too. Flip it over. Oh, and I see a little purple sticking out there. So once again, if you're not that picky, you don't need to worry about that step. But if you are, there's always a solution. So you can do that. Okay, so now it's gonna look something like this. I've got half of it done. So now I'm gonna pick the next side to glue. Once again, I'm only gonna glue half at a time for these first few. So I'll put the glue on the purple one now, which means if I'm putting it on the purple, I'm going to add my blue because I want it to be every other color, but you guys choose how you want yours to look. If you want yours to look a little different, my next one I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have it, each side's gonna be a different color. I'm so excited for it. All right, so glue that on. So now I've got almost all done. Once again, if I want to trim that out and make it look a little bit more fine-tuned, I can. So this is where my last one is going to go, right here. So you can see the 2 blues side to side. I've got my purples over there. So this is where my last purple is going to go across from the other purple. So this is what it looks like. But I don't want to glue it all together quite yet because I need to add it to the string, right? So I am going to get it set up. I'm going to put the glue in place and have it ready to go. So I'm just going to go, and this time I need the glue on both sides because this is the last hot air balloon. So we need glue on both sides for this one. Just like that. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Now for this one, this is where I said I'm going to use just a little bit of this glue because I want to make sure that it's not going to fall down on the string eventually. So I just like to add one little bit of glue down the center just so that it holds to the string a little bit better. Now I'm going to choose a string. I have 5 strings, so they're not exactly across from each other, but I'm going to choose a string that's kind of across from that one. Okay, so you guys can see I'm lining it up with the string. And I am going to, make sure you guys can see this, I'm going to add this last one right on in here like that, and the string is going right down the center of my hot air balloon. Now this one, I can tell it's not perfectly lined up, that I will have to do some trimming eventually, but I'm not going to do it right now because right now I just want it to dry in place. So I'll come back and fix. Like you guys can see, there's some of the purple sticking out there. I'm gonna come back and fix that later. I'm not gonna worry about that right now, but you can see that I've got it so it's every other one and it's hanging from there. And it's, well, my mobile is still not quite balanced out, so I will definitely have to play around with that a little bit. And obviously I'm gonna add more to it as well. Oop. Oh goodness. Actually, you guys, so look at this one already. I'm glad that I caught it, but it already fell down on my string. So you might want to even hold it a little bit longer. What I'm going to do, because it fell so far, I couldn't even, I wasn't able to catch the string at the bottom. So I'm going to need to open it up a little bit, and I'm going to place it on there again. So this is why, good lesson to be learned. This is why we want to make sure we don't mess with it too much, like I was. To be fair, it was for the video though, right? Gotta show you guys things. And you might want to hold it in place a little bit too. So our goal before next class, like I said, is to have one of these hot air balloons on each string. And if you don't quite get there, that's fine too. But next class, I will be showing you guys how to add in other things for in the sky. So clouds and birds, things like that. I'm gonna glue this one back together. We'll see you guys tomorrow.